Hello and welcome back to Fallout 3. Today we're gonna do another quest. And this place is a little bit hard to get to, because I did a little bit of running around. This bridge is the only way to access this place. I guess technically it's well defended. Like nobody's gonna... I guess the bridge is a dead giveaway that there's something here, but you know what? I'm not complaining. I basically fast traveled a minefield, went all the way here, and I had to go walk around this, this whole island across to this bridge. So yeah, a little bit hard to get to, but we've gone to Oasis, so we've been through worse. And today we're gonna do this quest. Which again, doesn't really benefit the build. Wake up, old lady.
Oh my, I wasn't expecting any visit. My. You certainly do look a little bit worn out from your travels. Oh, just look at my terrible manners. I'm Agatha. It's so nice to meet you. Now, what brings you all the way out here?
That's funny, I was about to ask you the same thing. Yeah, you built your thing on a really well-defended... You built your house in a really well-defended place.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm just fine out here. My husband, rest his poor soul, saw to it that our house was well protected from the elements and the inhabitants of the wastes.
Well, I found my way here. But I guess the fact that I woke you up as opposed to murdered you means I'm not here to cause trouble. Not that I ever wanted to cause trouble. I feel like in terms of Bethesda games, usually the better route is to, unless you know how to build your Skyrim character, do the quests and get the stuff from the people, as opposed to murdering them, and somehow that makes them not have their unique gear. Oh, your husband's dead? I'm sorry.
Kind of you to say. Yes, he's gone. After he built this place, we spent many happy years together. We decided to cut off contact with the outside world and just depend on each other for comfort and company.
Sure you haven't severed all contact? A frail old lady like yourself should be careful out here all alone.
Old? Yes. Frail? No. I can still hold my own if I have to. My husband made me learn a thing or two about how to defend myself. Besides, I had a caravan come through here about once a week to trade. They'd miss me if I was gone.
See, I used to think that when I was level 15, I could defend myself. Then I wandered to Oasis and ran into bears, who travel in packs, with enough health to tank my entire Vats volley. And then I was like, oh fuck. And then I shot them and they flew up in the sky, and I was like, oh, haha. What could you possibly have to trade? That sounds risky. What if the caravans never arrive?
Well, I always have my husband's old radio set to fall back on. I used it once in an emergency when a group of raiders was getting a bit too close for comfort to my house. Otherwise, I use it to broadcast my so-called music I play from my homemade violin.
I guess a homemade violin is never quite in tune.
Oh, you are a clever one. Yes, that's exactly the problem that I have with it. It doesn't quite play all of the notes correctly, and I have to constantly tinker with it.
Your husband's radio can broadcast across the entire capital wasteland. Is there any way I can help?
Well, now that you mention it, yes there is. My trading depends on my violin. Without it, I have nothing to play, no way to make music. If you can bring me a violin, a better one, I'd feel much more secure.
A violin? That's hardly something that would survive the war. I'm interested, but what will you give me in return? Actually, I don't give a shit about the pay at this point. Quests in this game tends to give you caps, and we can make, like, the caps rate in this game from killing shit and selling shit, especially at this point, is much higher than any quest reward you can get. So I guess the question now is the violin will probably not have survived the war.
Yes, very sad, isn't it? Sad to think that no more musical instruments will ever be made the old way ever again. Well, fortunately, I know where perhaps the last real violin in the world exists. If you give me your word that you will recover it, I will tell you more.
Alright, I give you my word, I'll do my best to recover a violin for you.
Oh, I don't think I've been this happy in years. I have some information that may help you, at least a place to begin. It all starts with my great-great-grandmother back in 2077 before the bombs fell.
2077? I can't even imagine that long ago. Or that long in the future. In 2077, I'll probably be dead. Actually, yeah, I'll definitely be dead.
It certainly is a long time. That precious instrument has been through a lot. Anyway, Hilda was quite a special woman, classically trained and exceptionally talented at the violin. Her pride and joy was her Stradivarius violin. I can only imagine how exquisite this instrument must have been. When the war reared its head, she was invited by Vault Tech into Vault 92. They claimed the vault would be dedicated to preserving musical talent.
Musical talent? Why would they care about that?
Vault Tech was always promoting the vaults being used for the preservation of the arts and all that nonsense. Hilda couldn't pass on a chance to meet many of the other musical talents of the world, so she accepted their invitation. Then the bombs fell, the vault was sealed, and my family never heard from her again.
After 200 years, how can you be certain the violin is still in decent shape?
She kept it in a special pressurized case. Inside the case is the perfect temperature and humidity for the instrument. If the case is still functioning, the Stradivarius would be in perfect shape. Hilda's Stradivarius was named the Swa Stradivarius. All of them had names. That's what I want you to get.
Any idea where Vault 92 is? Actually, I have the location of all vaults. So what am I supposed to do? Scour the entire wasteland asking about violins? Actually, this is what I don't like about this dialogue tree. It doesn't take into account that you come here after you gain the location of all the vaults, through the main quest line. Now, it'll be perfectly valid if you've A, never discovered it, or B, if the location of the vaults was not given to you as part of the main storyline. But I feel like since it's easy to get the location of these vaults, there really should be a dialogue option saying, hey, I know where it is. But you know what? I'm just gonna pretend I don't.
That's the catch. I have no idea where it is. I'd suggest making your way to Vault Tech headquarters in the DC ruins. That would be a good place to begin. Good luck!
I have to go now.
Be careful. I don't want to be responsible for getting you killed.
Now, I've already picked up the other thing, the sheet music. Where's the sheet music? Sheet music. I got this one from the school very close to Vault 101. And I got that very early on. I don't know where else you're supposed to get it, but I just remember reading the extra loot part of the wiki saying, oh, you should pick this up while you're here. That's also something that I've happened to do a lot now. After recording, after I go into a new area, I read the wiki on the notable loot section, and then I go and pick things up. Which makes me think that Fallout isn't meant to be played for the first time on recording. Like, it just end up looking stupid. What is really good for is if you play by yourself, not on recording, so you get time to do all this. If you go into a recording with the idea that you're gonna get anything done, like a specific amount of things done, then you will be very much disappointed. Now, as to why I'm doing this quest, I actually have no idea why I'm doing this quest. Also, is there a little flame on my pistol? I did scout this area. As you can see, again, no quest markers, which again reinforces my point on playing this by yourself as opposed to starting a recording for the first time and like expecting to have anything done. And I have no. Oh, I just took a dumb thing. Blood pack. Drop that shit. It reminds me of a shitty quest. But yeah, I have no idea why I'm doing this. It might be because I just got kicked out of my childhood home for like the 4th time. It might be because I've come to the realization that building in this game, like building properly, doesn't really do shit. Son of a... Yeah, figures. it doesn't really do shit. Like if you think about what we've done so far, we grabbed a lot of equipment. We've grabbed a lot of unique named weapons. And that doesn't really matter because I can get that on my old build. In a sense, that's good because it doesn't really lock you out of content, like if you built incorrectly. But it also means there isn't really much to be gained from playing the game again, from knowing what you're doing. So yeah, both of those reasons basically means I want to find someone to play me a sad song on the world's smallest violin. So I looked on the wiki and found a quest that tells me to go grab the world's oldest violin. So I think that fits the bill. And I did do a little bit of scouting so I won't be looking like an idiot on camera. Again, this is something that reinforces the fact that I shouldn't be playing this game for the first time on recording. It's just something that I should do by myself. Like, it'll be fun to play by myself. I'm also using this plasma pistol because we found a bunch of energy cells when we first came in. I also love how there's flies in here. This vault looks like it's in worse condition than the frigging super mutant maintained vault, which is weird because, you know, super mutants are filthy. From the looks of them, they look like they're gonna shit all over your floors. Where's the body? Where's the body? Come on, bats. You know what? I'm just gonna hit the 3% rain and hope that it hits. Jeez. I know it's 3%, but you'd imagine it'd be blocked off by the body, which is still enough damage to kill it. Ew. Serious? There's nothing in here? That's depressing. Also, something I noticed is that if you crit on the Lincoln repeater, you'll be able to kill off the Enclave dudes in one hit, which is really nice. Like even after we get energy weapons, it's still worth it using these weapons, like it's traditional weapons. But that's good. Like these things never really become outclassed and worthless. Okay, so here's another crab. Oh jeez. Okay, you know what? For the first time in a long time, we're going to abuse zoning through again. I think the crab don't zone through with you. Now, in terms of damage output, I feel like shotgun is getting outclassed by our unique plasma rifle, which I guess is okay, since our unique plasma rifle has a really high crit multiplier. Oh, what the hell? Well, I guess the crab found some friends. That's also something I don't like about the crit builds, because it sort of limits your weapon options. I kind of like having a build that's not weapon option dependent, and you can pretty much use any weapon that you like. Like what I mean by weapon dependent is you pretty much benefit a lot more having a weapon with high base crit, and that pretty much means we can't really use the shotgun that much, we can't really use the Chinese assault rifle that much. And we're sort of locked into Lincoln repeater and this plasma rifle, and even Wazer rifle at a certain point, to a certain degree. But then again, these weapons are pretty flashy in terms of their attacks, so I'm actually fine with that. Is this where I'm supposed to be? It is, but I think there's an enemy down this corridor. Oh shit! That's a zoning door. I can't tell if these doors are zoning doors or not. Oh, there's a lot more crap here. I'll leave the crap alone. Again, if I went blindly into this, then I'll have a very terrible... Ooh, you. You look menacing. But you got ashed. Fun shit. Oh, is there anything here? Pre-war book. I still don't know what they are, but they look like a nice collectible. So I do the collecting. I stopped collecting Nuka-Cola, by the way. See, we have storage room in here, another lock behind that lock. I guess the good thing about these locks is the lockpicking XP, which in this game is actually total EXP as well. Bottle caps 81, decent pre-war money. I guess considering how this place has flies, you probably should come here earlier. And if you come here earlier, then 81 is pretty good in terms of money. But right now we're pretty over leveled for that. Microfusion cells, that's nice. That's ammo for our main weapon. And also considering the crab distribution, I feel like the enemies here are both like low level and high level, to the point where even you can't do it at a low level. But I believe the crabs will be lower level if you come here at a lower level. So I guess the microfusion cells might also scale based on your level. And yeah. Okay, that one's locked by a key. So I guess there's nothing really to complain about. Also, again, terminal stuff. I would not have been able to make progress if I came here blind, which is why I scouted first. Let's take a look at this safe. It's an easy safe, so it's probably got like 20 gold in it, or 20 caps. I'm still saying gold, and it's not really a Skyrim thing, because most other games use gold as well. Baseball, bottle caps 27, stealth boy, wow. This one actually had better equipment than the one before. Like the one with the average lock. And here it is, the violin. Can just follow the trail of corpses back. Alright, I actually lost the trail of corpses. I also don't understand why people say you should come here and kill crabs, like at an early level. I think that's what the wiki suggested. It was like, those crabs are pretty hard to kill in my opinion. They have a lot of health if you don't VATS the head, and if you do VATS the head, it's still... Like, if you VATS the head, they don't have a lot of health, but even your VATS don't go through the head all the time. Like, yeah, it's better than aiming manually for, I guess, the average player. And for me, it's definitely better than aiming manually. Like, even if I'm playing on a PC, I would still VATS the head on the crabs. See, is this one it? Reactor room? I don't think I want to be there. Another thing is, with the completion of our build in terms of stats, like all of these skills, we don't even care about skill books anymore. I think if we build carefully, we can max out both sneak and big guns. And potentially one more. Oh shit, that's blood pack. I think that was a blood pack I dropped. Yeah, really not on top of my game. Because this thing looks like a rat-away. But yeah, let's say goodbye to another vault. Another vault that's not maintained properly. Also, in terms of a full build, I would suggest a robotics expert. And I would suggest for your level 19 one I'm taking here and now, because I want to cut down on the grinding. If you're playing a full game, then you would probably want to take another endurance intense training, and also pick up the endurance bobblehead. That's also one of the reasons why I said I came to a realization that build is kind of pointless in this game. A lot of the things, like the Wasteland Survival Guide and the Bobblehead of Endurance, it doesn't really give you a noticeable difference in your power and your like damage output or defensive abilities or any of that. So Yeah, it's building in this game is kind of not optimal or not needed.
Oh,
It doesn't
my
really
word.
do much.
Is that what I think it is? Oh, my goodness gracious. Seems like you've been gone forever. Please tell me you have good news.
Here's your violin. I'm sorry I couldn't find the violin in Vault 92. Here's your violin. Now play me
my
a sad, sad
goodness.
song because
I
of my
must
sad,
see
sad
it,
build.
Please.
And getting kicked out of my house.
Oh, my. It's more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. I can't thank you enough. I wish I had something to give you, a more suitable reward for all your efforts. All I can give you is the frequency to my radio set. Tune in whenever you feel like listening to the strains of an old woman's violin playing.
Be careful not to break it or something else. Now, I think there's a way to do
Sit down a
the
spell and relax.
sheet music quest. How are you feeling? You play live on the radio all the time. That must be exhausting. Would you mind playing the violin for me? Guess what I have for you? Guess what I have for you? Are we just gonna turn over to sheet music without her asking for the sheet music? Let's go through the other options first, because I think we're doing okay on time.
Much better lately, thanks for asking. With the return of the Swa Stradivarius, everything has changed. It's like a long-lost family member has come home.
You play live on the radio all the time. That must be exhausting.
Oh, don't be silly. I record everything I play on the nice machines built into my husband's old radio gear. That way you can hear the music anytime you want, and this old woman can get some well-needed beauty sleep.
Would you mind playing the violin for me?
I would love to play for you.
Oh, so she just plays the violin there. Let's turn on the light. Yay! She played a sad song on the world's oldest violin for us because we got kicked out of our vault and also realized that building in this game is pointless.
You're a sight for these old eyes.
Guess what I have for you? I guess there's no option for the sheet music. You're just supposed to know. Well, actually, I'm just making the assumption that this is what it's for because that's what it looks like. Let's actually find out.
My word, you actually found some real music paper. I didn't even think it possible. Yet, here it is. You've really outdone yourself this time. I knew getting the Stradivarius was a challenge, but this is just incredible. This is all too much. You deserve more than just a pat on the back.
No, having you write it down is reward enough. No, having you write it down is reward enough. Having you write it down. Write what down? Sure, I'll take whatever you can offer. It better be good. I busted my ass getting that paper. I've had that paper for a long time. You know what? You can keep whatever rewards you have. Because I think this might be the Scope Magnum, but the Scope Magnum shares the same gun as the Lincoln Repeater. Considering how the Lincoln Repeater is almost as easy as this thing to get, judging from when I got it and when I got it here, it's probably harder to get this quest done because the Vault 92 is right next to a bunch of death claws. Like, I got around them, but if you don't know about them, you might run into death claws. So while it does share the ammunition with the Lincoln Repeater is arguably easier to get than this and also does more damage. So there really isn't any point to force her to give us a gun.
I'm speechless. Thank you. You're welcome here anytime. Consider my house as a safe haven if you're ever in the area. Now, let me get writing. So much to do.
Cool. Well, I guess we lost the sheet music, so she's not making a copy. I don't really know what she's writing. Oh well. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Ooh, she's still not gonna give us her shit. All I wanted was a bobby pin. Because I've been breaking them on a lot of high-level locks. Oh well. Thanks for watching.